Are you looking to upgrade on power and still want to save a lot of money? Well, Skil may be the ticket. This is the new Skil mid-torque impact wrench. Runs on their 20-volt platform. It does have a brushless motor. It's got the awesome halo light on the front, and it's supposed to have 800 foot-pounds of breakaway or nut-busting torque. Does it? We'll find out. This is the Skil IW5761, and it's their 20-volt brushless half-inch impact wrench. They're dubbing it a mid-torque impact wrench, and it delivers up to 800 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. So if it's actually delivering that much, then it definitely deserves to be in that mid-torque class. In fact, it pushes it up into that high torque class of just a couple of years ago. We have multiple speeds on that. Really, there's 3 speeds on this impact wrench, but there's also a couple of other modes we'll discuss here in one moment. And the speeds are controlled down here on the bottom of the impact wrench. So you see these lights right here. There's a speed button, 1, 2, and 3. Now in those speeds, in speed 1, we have a variable speed trigger, so we can go as slow as we want to, all the way up to 800 RPM and up to 1100 impacts per minute. So once it's under stress or under load, you'll hear the impact start hitting, and so 800 RPMs is the max and 1100 impacts per minute is the max in speed 1. Now, if we go to speed 2, then we're looking at 0 to 1400 RPM and up to 2000 impacts per minute. And in speed 3, looking at a max of 1900 RPM and up to 2600 impacts per minute. Now, in addition to the speeds, there's also another button over here, and there's a couple of lights there. So when we dig into there, there's the RM and the NB, and then nothing. Basically, when it's in nothing, it's in what they call normal mode. If it's in the RM selection, then it's in the reverse control mode, which means supposedly when you back something off, when it senses that the nut or the fastener is loose, it actually stops the tool, like there. So my finger's still on the trigger. It senses there was no load there, so it's stopping the tool. Now then we have the NB, which is nut busting mode. So that's basically going to apply the most amount of power to make sure that we're getting everything we have to break away that fastener. Now I just want you to know, once I tell you the price on this, you're probably going to flip out. Like for an impact wrench, this should be able to do what they're claiming it will do, and we'll find that out here in just one second. But we're dubbing this the half-price destroyer. I'm telling you, you're just going to be blown away at the price because you can get it with the battery, with the charger, and the tool for just an insane price. Another really cool thing about this is the halo light there on the front of the tool. We love that, totally surrounding the fastener, and you can use that for a flashlight if you wanted to. And it's going to stay on for 10 seconds after the trigger pull. So once you release the trigger, it's going to stay on another 10 seconds and then shut off. Now, size on this is not exactly a small mid-torque, which at the value price it is and at the amount of power it's delivering, we didn't expect it to be really small. However, if you look at it next to the Snap-on, it's about the identical size. If we lay them on their backs, you see really, really and truly almost dead heat. I think the Snap-on is just a touch longer and height-wise about the same as well. The Skil may be a touch taller than that, but again, not a small tool, but for the price they're delivering this at, and for the amount of power it's delivering, still a good deal and not too big. Again, you're looking for power. It's about 11 inches tall, and that's with the 5 amp hour battery on here. And length of the tool is going to be right at 8 inches long from tip to tail, if you will, or from front to back. And then as far as width, I don't know, probably 3 inches. Yeah, maybe just a touch, maybe 3 1/8 of an inch. And we get a 1/2 inch hog ring style anvil or friction ring style anvil on the front of the tool. Now let's go ahead and get a weight. Again, I'm weighing it with the 5 amp hour battery. Even though you can get this kitted with the 4 amp hour battery, we didn't have a 4 amp hour laying around. I don't know how much of a difference, probably an ounce or so difference in the 4 amp hour to the 5 amp hour. But let's just weigh it. Tool and 5 amp hour battery, 6 pounds, 11 ounces. So 6 3/4 pounds for the impact wrench and the battery. And let's just face it, when you're reaching for a mid-torque or a high-torque impact wrench, you're really not caring about how light it is, right? You want it to get the work done. So let's go over and check and see if it actually does what they claim it will do. Well, you probably know the drill, but if you haven't seen us test impact wrenches, then what we're going to do, we're going to take our torque tool and we're going to torque these fasteners here, starting at 150 foot-pounds. And the only reason we start at 150 is that's kind of the bottom of the electronic torque tool that we use. So we're going to go 150 and then go to 200 and do even increments. So 150, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. And if we make it past 700, then we'll start with our larger torque tool and we'll start torquing at 800 and go all the way up as high as we can go until this thing will not break free the fasteners. Now, we let it impact on each fastener for up to 10 seconds. If it's starting to move that fastener at 10 seconds, we will let it continue to turn until it breaks that freely. Now, if it's not moving after 10 seconds, then we stop the tool. It doesn't get that point, and that's it. But again, we give it 10 seconds. If there's any movement there, we let it carry on. So let's go ahead and get started, get these fasteners torqued. Okay, you see we have hash marks drawn onto the socket. We have 3 different hash marks just so you can see the rotation to make sure that you can see that it's either turning or not turning after 10 seconds or before 10 seconds. So let's get started at 150 foot-pounds. And I'm in reverse, and let's make sure that we're in nut busting mode in speed 3, and we have a full battery. On to 500 foot-pounds. Okay, definitely struggled on that. However, I'm thinking that we may have something wrong with that fastener because it was moving it probably at the 5 or 6 second range, if not sooner. Regardless, we got it broken free. Okay, here we go again. I'm going to start right here with 800 foot-pounds and then go to 900, and I'm going to skip this fastener and go to the larger fasteners and then start at 1,000. Okay, let's get this started again. Still got a full battery. We're still in speed mode 3 and nut busting mode. And we should be in reverse. There we go. And so now we're starting at 800 foot-pounds, then 900. And if we break those free, we'll move on to the larger fasteners. Now this is what it's rated for, is 800 foot-pounds. Okay, here we are again. Full battery. Power mode 3, nut busting mode. Make sure we're in reverse. Yep, we're in reverse. 1,000 foot-pounds. Okay, definitely couldn't move the 1,200 foot-pounds. The 1,100, it was barely budging it at that 10-second mark. It started moving it around that 8.5, 9-second mark, and so we let it go ahead, even though it took probably 18, 20 seconds to actually break it free, but it was starting to move before that 10-second mark. Man, what a performance by the Skil 20-volt. For $169, you can get the impact wrench, the battery, and the charger. Not a bare tool. Bare tool I think you can get for like $92. And you can buy it on Amazon, and you get a 5-year warranty. It is hard to beat that for sure. Now let's take a look at these couple of other modes here. So it's in nut busting mode. So I'm going to go to the removal mode, and we'll see here on the Titan side. Really doesn't do anything, but if I shift to reverse, you see it stops the tool. Finger still on the trigger. I'm going to let that performance speak for itself. Yes, it had trouble breaking free the 1,000 and 1,100 foot-pounds. Could not do the 1,200, but still, for something that's $169 all in, so not 2 batteries, but just one 4-amp-hour battery, the tool, and the charger for $169, I don't think you can find it anywhere else, at least not in a name brand, with a 5-year warranty at that, and you can get it on Amazon, shipped right to your door. So we'll have a link in the description. Let us know what you think. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And hey, if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But let us know in the comments why. Have a great day. Keep smiling.